Hi, it's Michelle Peterson. This week is dessert week and it's my favorite week of them all. I love to bake, I love to make desserts, I love to eat desserts. What I'm going to make is called a sparkler pie. And I needed something that would cheer me up. So the red shirt, light dessert with lots of strawberries on it. And it's also getting close to Memorial Day weekend and we're going to a barbecue. And I was asked to bring the dessert. So hopefully this pie will make it there. What we'll start with is the pie shell. I've got a 9-inch pie. I've preheated my oven to 400 degrees. And I've tried to make this a little simpler. I looked at my recipe, thought of ways that I could shorten the time on it. Therefore, the refrigerated dough. There are some good ones out there. Of course, you can always make your own, which is what I usually do. So you dust both sides of it with a little bit of flour. You mold it into a 9-inch pan. And then I usually take blueberries and I grind them and do all those kind of things. Again, shortening it, I took a spreadable fruit and I'm using blueberries. You can use blackberries, you're going to get the same rich color with them. To make them a little thicker, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. You just put that in there and you just stir it up until it's well mixed together. The main point of this is to thicken up those blueberries so that they don't ruin your pie dough. Put this in the bottom of my pie shell. And this ends up being about a cup of fruit. So you're just going to smooth this out in the bottom of your pie pan. We're going to have dusted a second pie crust on both sides with flour. And you're just going to take it and you're going to lay it on top of the first one. And you're just going to pat it down. And then you're going to take the edges and you're going to roll them under. One of the reasons I went ahead for this demonstration decided to use the refrigerated dough is because a lot of people don't make pies because they're a little bit leery about making pie crusts. And I didn't want that to prevent anyone from preparing this dessert because it is so wonderful. I like the fluted edges. I think it gives the pie a prettier finished look. Take a dish. Some people put another pie dish in it, but I found sometimes that ruins your flute, so I just take one like this. We're going to take it and we're going to put it in the oven for 10 minutes. What I have here is 2½ cups of strawberries. I put them through a food processor and just chopped them up. I'm going to take 3 tablespoons of cornstarch, stir that in while it's cool, and you just whisk it till you get all the little lumps of the cornstarch broken down. So get all those strawberries down in that pan. And this is actually the most complicated part of it. And that's not too complicated. What we're going to do is we're going to stir this on medium heat until it gets thickened. The strawberries are done and you can see how nice and thick they are and just a little bit shiny. My crust is now ready. Carefully take that pan off and then I'm going to take a fork and I'm just going to make holes all the way around. Carefully so that you don't bring the top crust up with you. Keep it from continuing to raise up and into your pan. Then I'm going to take this ring, I'm going to put it around the outside to keep the flutes from getting really brown. And I'm going to put it back in the oven for 15 minutes. While that's going to cook, I'm going to stick the strawberries in the freezer. And about every 2 or 3 minutes I'm going to reach in and I'm going to stir them and so they cool down a lot faster for me. Okay, it's out of the oven and right now this is how it looks. I'm going to put it on a wire rack to cool. I know you all have been thinking, where's the filling? Where's the filling? Did she forget that this was a filling demonstration? No, I didn't. Now the star is now up. It's time for him. He's been in the dressing room. He's time to come out and get ready for the show. I'm using 2 8-ounce containers of Philadelphia cream cheese, just the original. I have some white chocolate instant pudding. What I'm going to add to that is 1 1/4 cup of whipping cream. I'm just going to whisk it to get it to thicken up just a little bit here. I've got the 2 fillies. I have 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. I'll pour that in there. And I've got real vanilla extract. And I'm going to put a tablespoon in it. And yeah, I like vanilla. Whip it until it's smooth. I'm going to take this white chocolate pudding, which with using just 1 1/4 cups of the whipping cream sets up pretty fast. And so we're going to pour that all down in this. We're done. It's nice and smooth and creamy. What I'm going to do at this point is that I'm going to take another bowl. I'm going to divide this mixture in half. Okay, I've divided it in half. This is going to be my white chocolate layer with the filling. So what I've done is I've taken a half a bag or 1 cup of white chocolate chips, and I have melted them in the microwave, and you just follow the directions on their package. I'm going to beat it one more time, and then I'm going to do the finger test. This is what it looks like when it's done. I'm going to taste it. That's good. So we're going to set this aside, and we're going to use the other half, and this is what we're going to put the strawberries into. They've been in the freezer, and they have cooled down. So we're going to take the same beaters, and I'm going to mix this together. And I will do the finger test here also. I'm thinking a little bit soft yet. So I have one thing for desserts that I think cures a lot of problems. If this had been too thick, I would add a little whipped cream to it to thin it out. And believe it or not, when you have something that's just a little bit soft like that, if you add whipped cream to it, it'll sort of bind together and thicken it up. So I'm going to add about a half a cup at a time until I get the consistency that I want. I'm using Cool Whips. And that is about a half a cup. And just stir that until it's well incorporated. And as you can tell, it is a little bit thicker. It doesn't have quite the shake that it had before. Okay, we've come finally to the final steps. We're going to take the white chocolate filling and we're going to scrape it out and put it in the pie dish. Okay, we've got the white filling in, and now we're going to put the strawberries on top of it. I'm sure by now you've all guessed that this is actually, it's a red, white, and blue pie. Great for, like for Memorial Day or for the 4th of July. Good for any summer barbecue. And I needed it today just because it's been so cloudy and so gloomy around here for so long. I needed something to sort of lift my spirits, and this is it. Then you take whipped cream. We're using Cool Whip on it and put it in a pastry bag. And sometimes I just put stars all the way around it. Sometimes I put stars to sort of mix it all over the pie. We're going to let it set up. It just takes very little time in the freezer. Okay, I have it plated, and as you can see how pretty this looks, all the different layers together. And now comes the moment of truth. I'm going to take a bite of it. You know, that's just this side of heaven. I think as cool, as creamy, as just what I was looking for today. I think it's just what you'd be looking for any summer barbecue that you could have. In fact, I think I'm having this instead of supper. So,